Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
In the story of creation,
Shabbat
the Sabbath
Shalom.
represents the culmination of a week of work. In this week's Torah portion, we have a different idea of the Sabbath. It is a day that constitutes part of the Jewish calendar year. Week after week, we celebrate Shabbat as a covenant for all time. And so we begin our worship today with the singing of Vishamru, a Berit Olam, a covenant for all time. Before we welcome Shabbat with the lighting of our Sabbath candles, there are so many things for which we are grateful this past week. Some have overcome some kind of illness. Others celebrate joyous occasions. And still more, we have the joy of motherhood, which we will be celebrating this Sunday morning. Whatever our joys may be, Shabbat allows us to appreciate what we have. In addition to the blessings of this past week, we celebrate with great joy the birthdays and anniversaries which have taken place in our congregation. We celebrate the birthdays of Jean Pfeffer, Karen Rosenthal, Charles Hurwitz, Megan Hirsch, Fran Lowe, Fran Brockstein, Laura Rosenfield, Adam Weinstein, Wayne Doris, Lori Siegel, Lenny Goldfield, Sam Berman, Hobie Bernowski, Ileana Bain, Jules Weinstein, and the anniversaries of Mitch and Michelle Lieben, Stuart and Debbie Goldman, Paul and Julie Herman, Robert and Florence Late. We do not take these moments for granted. We thank God for the joys of our lives. We welcome Shabbat and toast l'chaim, to life, as we join together in the blessings over our candles and wine.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Shanu b'mitzvotav etzivanu lechad likner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Praised are you, eternal our God, ruling Spirit of the universe, who sanctifies us with commandments and has commanded us regarding the lighting of our Shabbat candles. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu Shabbat kodsho ve'ahava u'ratzon inchilanu zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom te'iyah v'nikra'e kodesh zecher mitziat mitzrayim kivanu
The soul that has been implanted within each of us is pure, and our bodies are created in God's image. But there are times when heart and soul do not feel so whole, times of loss, at times of illness, at times when we struggle with mental health or addiction. We can often feel a sense of distance from God and a sense of distance from our community. As we sing the beautiful words of the Misha Berach prayer in just a moment, we ask God to bless our family and our friends with healing of body, mind, and spirit. And in our prayers this week, we humbly ask God to bless Julie Jordan and Shelby Jordan with healing. May God bless each of us with the strength to endure this time. May God bless us with strong minds, strong spirits, and strong bodies as we join together in Misha Berach.
Give you're lost, feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your mind. Write them and learn them and teach them well, every morning and night. Close your eyes and listen. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
In our Torah portion this week, we are presented with a very early and rudimentary calendar, a unique calendar to the Jewish people, a calendar that is linked to the seasons, that is linked to Torah, that is linked to our heritage and our history. Here in the 23rd chapter of the book of Leviticus, we have descriptions of a weekly Sabbath, a day also that is referred to as the first day of the 7th month of the year. Later becomes known as Rosh Hashanah, the beginning of the year, that is marked by the blowing of the great horn. We have in this Torah portion a description of Yom Kippur and the description of each of the festival holidays, Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot, for the spring, summer, and fall harvest festivals. In each of the instances of these grand celebrations described in the Torah, we have connections to our people and to God through sacrifice. On the Sabbath, we sacrifice work. On the festivals, we sacrifice parts of our harvest. On Yom Kippur, we sacrifice consumption. Each of these sacrifices bond us together as a community and link us in a sense of holiness and sacred time. We elevate these days and these periods through korban, or sacrifice. The word korban means to draw near, as we seek to draw near to each other, and through our sacrifices draw near also to God. This week, in addition to drawing near to each other and drawing near to God through our Torah portion that provides us with this wisdom of an early calendar, we have a day that isn't found in the Torah at all, a modern celebration for the sacrifices offered by the mothers in our world. Our mothers sacrifice so much for us, giving us the blessings of their love and their time and their energy, and set aside so much of their own needs to make sure that each of us grow up to be who we are. And so on Sunday morning, we will be celebrating Mother's Day. And even though it's not in the Torah, we know that the Torah and our faith elevate this day and the mothers in our world to the highest level. May each of the mothers in our community, may each of the families in our community, may each of us revel in the joys given to us by our mothers. Happy Mother's Day and Shabbat Shalom. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, the 6 million who perished in the Shoah, and those of every race, nation, and faith whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. Tonight, we remember with love Henrietta Grad, Mac Motley, Milton Abramson, Joe Wilk, Maria Pintar, Adele Shaw, Corinne Sartorius, Alan Abramson, David Ritzwaller, Harry Greenfeld, Louis Schlanger, Norman Steinberg, Eleanor Schlossberg, Marilyn Kingmore, Harry Grad, Benjamin Pollock, Saul Klaus, Rebecca Kaplan. As we now turn in our prayer books to the hallowed words of the Mourner's Kaddish, we recite together.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei l'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imeru. Amen. Yehesh shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lamei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei kedusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imeru. Amen. Yehesh lama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort all who are bereaved among us. And let us say, Amen.
We conclude our service this evening with the singing of Yismechu as a reminder of the joy of Shabbat and all that it brings, as a reminder that this sacred day binds us together as a people and connects us to God. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless us and keep us. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God be mindful of us. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God look over us and grant us strength and health and peace in the days to come. Amen.